Now, what's a little bit more difficult is finding the vertex when we are in a slightly different form. When we are in quadratic form, it would be nice if like C was the Y and B was the X or something like that. It's not quite that simple. So what we have to remember is the formula negative B over 2A. Negative B over 2A is what you're going to want to remember. Okay, where does that come from? You don't need to write this down, but it comes from x equals negative b, kind of the same place where the quadratic formula comes from, all over 2a. So if we break this 2a up and put it under the front and the back and recognize the parabola happens when we're not doing any spread, this is where that negative b over 2a comes from. It comes from the very, very center before we start going left and right a little bit using that plus or minus. So it's where that negative b over 2a part is 0. That's where the vertex happens, which is why we use this is our formula. Okay, so what is negative b over 2a going to give us? Well, negative b over 2a is going to give us the x value of the vertex. And then how do we find the y value? Well, if you know the x value of any function, you can plug it into the original formula and that'll give you the y value. So again, we really, really, really need to get that negative b over 2a and keep it in our brain because that's how we're going to find the vertex when it looks like an ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's give this a try. Let's find the x value of the vertex. That's negative b over 2a. In this case, that's negative 6 over 2 times negative 3. Be careful with those negatives. So that gives me negative 6 over negative 6, which is 1. So the x value of the vertex is 1. And now we're going to plug 1 back in for all of our x's. And we're going to get that that is 4. So what is the vertex? It is x is 1, y is 4. So all you really need is that x is negative b over 2a. That gets us the vertex, and you can move on from there. All right, let's try one more of these. How do I find the x when we are in a parabola that is in quadratic form? Well, it's negative b over 2a. That's the formula we're going to memorize. So negative 10 over 2 times what's sitting in front of there. When there's nothing there, there is something. It's an understood 1. So that's negative 10 over 2 gives us an x value of negative 5. How do I find the y value? Well, I'm going to plug it back into the original question. So negative 5 squared plus 10 times negative 5 minus 1, that's negative 26. So the vertex of this parabola that is in quadratic form is negative 5, negative 26.